Welcome back to the Manny Diaz Show. Joe Zagacki, Don Bailey Jr., and Josh Darrow. Miami and Pittsburgh from Heinz Field on Saturday. Kenny Pickett will be making his 44th career start against the University of Miami when he takes the field. Well, his 44th career start, not all against the University of Miami. 44 in total.
Got it.
At any rate, Pittsburgh, they got a very experienced team. Right now, they are the leaders in the ACC, 3-0 in conference play. Really good team, both sides of the ball.
Well, Joe, you have to start with Pickett. He's on his way to being an All-American if they can win out and their dreams come true. His name's already getting mentioned for a Heisman Trophy. He appears to be the most outstanding quarterback in the ACC, and the numbers are crazy. He's got one pick. Don't let that sink in for me. He's got one pick, and we're on the back half of the season. This guy has great mobility. He understands how to run the football, and I think that's the hidden persuader in his game. 23 touchdowns, 1 interception, and at this point of the year, Josh, he's completing almost 70% of his passes, and he gets rid of that football.
And here's the thing I like about him. He believes in his arm because he's going to put it in a tight window. We talked about last week NC State's receivers Leary and Carter making Leary look better. I think Pickett makes his receivers look good because he's not scared to throw it. He's not scared to put it if a defender's close, and he trusts his guys. And when he's on the run, he is looking to throw first, but he will take off and can make a play with his legs. I liked him last year. We caught a break, but he's really, really good. And think about the quarterbacks in our league. I mean, there are some really good, talented quarterbacks in our league, but this is a guy, and I guarantee you too, just from the way he talks and what he's done, I bet you that team loves him.
Confidence-wise, is he not a perfect marriage with Coach Whipple, right?
Oh, my
both
God.
of those guys. Coach Whipple was here, of course, with the University of Miami, and both confident guys. The offensive coordinator is going to want to push the field, push the envelope, move the change, and it seems like Pickett's perfect fit for him.
Well, they gave Clemson, you mentioned earlier, the worst loss for Clemson in conference since 2014. First time they've lost by double digits to a conference opponent since Georgia Tech in 2014. They hold the ball also for the amount of time they spend throwing the football. And by the way, Addison, their key receiver, is going to be questionable for the game because of a concussion. But you got to get the ball away from them. They hold the ball for 33 minutes a game.
Well, when I look at the Clemson game, when I watched that, the thing that impressed me about Pitt is that they move the football on Clemson's defense. Clemson plays some defense. Now, they've got a couple guys out, but they still have my favorite linebacker in the history of the game. Skalski, right? So, I mean, he's all over the place, and they cover him up, they match up athletically, but they were able, they got over 400 and something yards on Clemson, so it was an amazing day for them, but it goes back that Pitt's defense is going to challenge you on the outside, and then Pitt's offense is going to challenge you for the end zone.
What they did against Virginia Tech to end the game, I've rarely seen. I had to swipe back and be like, did I see this right? They've had the ball the entire fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. They put a 16-play, 80-something yard, 12-minute drive, and I think they kneeled it at the end. They just walked off the field. That was it. The other thing, too, they've done against Virginia Tech and Clemson, they've scored right before the half. A little bit of an oddity, but, that's a nice momentum carrier, into the locker room and coming out. They're a really good team. Defensively, we know how they're going to be. They're going to just be aggressive, in your face. They're going to test you at the line of scrimmage. They're going to test you on the outside. Now, there have been times for Miami where that's been a plus because we've been able to challenge them down the field and make plays. Again, another opportunity for Tyler Van Dyke. And then we just know what they have. We've spoken about what they have on offense. There's some really tough-minded offensive linemen in that room as well. They have a good tight end. The running back might miss the game too as well. So it'll be interesting. But they have Pickett back. We didn't see him last year, and he's been wonderful. He's having an elite year.
Well, it's another game on the perimeter for Miami. Pittsburgh is sixth best on third downs defensively. So Miami saw a great third down defense last week. Going to see another great third down defense this week. But Pat Narduzzi is not afraid to play the defense you guys talked about. Strangle the run game. Can you get your receivers down the field? And Miami wide receivers are going to have to make big plays. Good throws by Van Dyke will equal touchdowns.
He dares you. I think that's the best way to describe him. He dares you to come after his defense, and he doesn't think you can do it.
No.
He doesn't think anybody in the country can beat him. Now, that's not always the case. They did have a loss earlier this year, but those defensive ends jet off the line of scrimmage. The corners go after the football. They tackle well, and then if they get a pick, they switch it around and try and get into the end zone. And then the turnover last week against Clemson, they had a takeaway on the shovel pass.
Right there.
Right there. That's it. That changed the whole game. That knocked the air out of Clemson.
Servassier Dennis, he's always around the ball. That guy's got a nose for the ball.
I think the other thing too is when you have Kenny Pickett and you have an offense like scoring 40-something points a game, you can be more aggressive on defense, right?
That's a good point.
Because if you make a mistake or the other team scores, you know you have an offense that can come back and put points back on the board. So I think the offense, the way they're playing with Pickett and the way he's always liked to play defense, because that was the way at Michigan State, right? It was always going to be that kind of man press kind of game. I think these two things really complement each other. But again, I think we should compliment and give kudos to our receivers. Our receivers have really stepped up their game. They've made tough catches. They've gotten hits. We saw what Rambo did in the game. Keyshawn Smith has made some really, really tough catches where he's got put on his back and put on the ground. So Restrepo is like this close.
Twice.
I know to have, and they're not afraid to use them. So they're rotating in. They're deeper at receiver, and those guys are doing what we didn't see last year. And I think they rose to the occasion this past week, and hopefully they're going to rise to the occasion again against Pittsburgh.
Okay, when we come back, we'll take a look at the keys of the game as we continue right here on the Manny Diaz Show right after this.
The school bus.
The Zach wagon.
Wally.
No matter what you call your car or why you're letting it go, AutoNation will buy it, and you don't have to buy one from us. We're paying top dollar right now. So go to AutoNation.com or come see us for a super easy appraisal. Get paid on the spot, and you can deposit it the same day. Visit any AutoNation store or AutoNation.com. What drives you drives us.
I will fight, I always do, until my heart is black and blue. 'Cause I'm not giving up, I'm not giving up, no, not yet.
I am cancer free.
Even when I'm down on my last breath.
There would be no need for any further